Yes. Okay, we're live. Wait. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if we can get any information on what the full moment is. Actually, let's tone it down more. And I can get closer and it can be good. There it is. Yes. Little higher. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's do this. Let's go, bitch. Oh, wait. Damn it.
The hardest thing for many people to believe concerning the flat earth is this whole concept of a solid dome or firmament way up in the sky over our heads. Just looking at the vastness of the sky, it is easy to doubt when you just consider the sheer size of it all.
So I'm going to help adjust your perspective to make the firmament a little easier to believe in. First, consider the sheer size of the ocean. For someone who has never heard of the ocean before, might that be something a little difficult to believe in? Just think, miles and miles in all directions with no land in sight anywhere. To some, that could seem unreal. But just because something is big, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
But the ocean makes sense. It's heavy and dense, so it is down low below the sky. But the firmament is hard and solid, yet for some reason you claim it is up there above the sky?
If it's really a matter of size and density, which should be harder to believe? A big solid dome that covers the entire Earth? Or an extremely dense and enormous sun that is as big as 1.3 million Earths? Yes, that is the actual claim as to how big the sun is on the globe Earth model. If size and scale is the issue, shouldn't that make the globe Earth sun 1.3 million times more difficult to believe in? Would you rather believe in an enormously massive, Earth-swallowing fireball in the vacuum of space?
Fireball. I gotta say this clearly. The sun. The sun is not a fireball. fact, the sun is a nuclear reactor, a natural nuclear reactor. Natural nuclear reactor. Okay, let's continue.
Definitely see your point there. I think another thing people have an issue with is the shape of the firmament. Many people claim that the shape of the firmament is unnatural. They claim there's no way a shape like that could happen all by itself. Many people have an issue with it because if a firmament were to exist, then it would have to prove the existence of a divine creator.
If someone's reason for not believing in the firmament is the existence of a divine creator, that sounds more like a personal issue than it does anything else. There is no rule saying evidence of a divine creator can't exist. Nature doesn't separate the divine from science.
Is there any evidence of the firmament yet? Have you seen any? I haven't. Shit. But again, have you seen any evidence that the firmament exists? I have not yet. I wish I could find a cool schedule so everybody can come on and we can chill, but I just don't come on. I come in. I'm erratic. I'm weird.
Only people do.
And that reminds me of another common argument that is out there. The majority of people out there don't believe in a firmament. There is no way so many people could be wrong.
That is actually an ad populum argument. It is a fallacious or faulty argument, also known as bandwagon reasoning. Just because a large number of people believe in something, that doesn't make it true. Truth is independent of whether or not people believe in it, even if those people are experts in their field of study. Just because it is a popular opinion among scientists and/or doctors, that doesn't automatically mean they are right. When you judge a claim based on how many people make the claim, that is the bandwagon fallacy. And when you judge a claim based on who said it, such as, a doctor said so, therefore it must be right, that is committing the genetic fallacy. Doctors are not perfect and are capable of being wrong. Then when you say, oh, well, most doctors say so, then that is just combining the two fallacies. That doesn't make it right.
There we go. Hold on. Fuck. See, I don't want it to be that loud, cause it's just... There we go. That's it right there. Let's continue. Fuck.
Alright, so what evidence is there for the firmament? I know the Bible talks about it. Are people expected to believe in it just because the Bible says so?
Well, yeah, there are quite a few biblical passages that describe the firmament over our heads, but I can hardly say that is the only reason people believe in the firmament. For starters, we live in an atmospheric environment, and without something to keep that atmosphere in, the atmosphere would all just wander off. But that argument is usually used in reference to an outer space vacuum that would easily overpower the weak force of gravity. If the Earth were a globe...
Bible says so?
Well, yeah, there are quite a few biblical passages that describe the firmament over our heads, but I can hardly say that is the only reason people believe in the firmament. For starters, we live in an atmospheric environment, and without something to keep that atmosphere in, the atmosphere would all just wander off. But that argument is usually used in reference to an outer space vacuum that would easily overpower the weak force of gravity. If the Earth were a globe, it would have to have a container to keep all of that atmosphere in. But let's not get into that. We don't believe in a firmament on a flat Earth because of something that doesn't work on a globe Earth. That one's for free. Anyway, let's look at rockets. A rocket's arch trajectory stands as evidence of the firmament. Evidence is simply defined as a sign or indication of something. And when you just look at the trajectory here, it's easy to say, wow, that looks like they're trying to avoid something. It is just like if a person were to see a whole bunch of cars swerving on a road.
No, or it looks like we are trying to follow the curve of the Earth so we can go with the Earth's spin. And then do a violent turn and go into space. It's nuts. I'd love to do it one day. Fuck.
If someone were to see that, it would be easy to say that it is evidence that something might be there on the road that they are swerving around.
I definitely agree with you.
The next big piece of evidence can be found in something called Operation Fishbowl.
Nike Hercules, Stripey XM33, 4.
Interesting name, right?
For sure.
It's pretty fascinating. A name like that is kind
She's not cute. Fuck. Or not.
It's pretty fascinating. A name like that is
Er.
interesting name, right?
For sure.
It's pretty fascinating. A name like that is kind of hard to ignore and has raised quite a few eyebrows in the flat earth community. Remember, evidence is simply defined as a sign or indication of something. The name Operation Fishbowl is a very clear sign or indication referring to some kind of solid barrier. If they were simply launching the nukes at nothing, why would they choose that for its name? And if you think the name Fishbowl is peculiar, it goes even farther than that. Operation Fishbowl was part of an even larger operation entitled Operation Dominic.
Do you know what the name Dominic means? Check this out. I'm going to take you to, I'll put the screen share back up here. Take you to a one of those name websites. I like using behindthename.com. Look up the name Dominic, and again, let's just double check it here. Dominic, D-O-M-I-N-I-C. Look up Dominic, D-O-M-I-N-I-C. From the late Latin name Dominicus, meaning of the Lord. Fishbowl was part of Operation Dominic. It looks like they are sending high-altitude nuclear bombs to test the fishbowl of the Lord, i.e., the firmament.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those things to make you go, hmm.
And if that doesn't make you go, maybe looking at Wernher von Braun's gravestone will. Wernher von Braun was one of the head engineers over at NASA during the supposed moon landings. Yet his gravestone cites a reference stating, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." Was this
There we go. You gotta look at his life. The life of Werner von Braun. He was a slave. Pretty much. He was a fucking slave. There was no way he was getting out of there alive. Unless he so endured. Hitler was gonna kill him. Hitler was eventually gonna kill him. But thank God something else happened.
this an act of sarcasm where he or whoever put the reference there was mocking God by claiming there is no firmament? Or was this an admission, an acknowledgement of the firmament, and part of the reason why von Braun suddenly got religious in his latter years?
I don't know, but it definitely raises some suspicion.
Now, I want
Alright. Hold on. Hello? Fuck. I suck at audio. I'm gonna make you moderator. Stand up. No. That's fine. Hello. How are you doing today? Yes. You can see my camera, right? Here I am. I can make it bigger. Watch. Hold on. There I am. Yeah, all my subscribers are cool. Love you guys. I got a lot of my subscribers from other stuff. And thank you for sticking with me. It was about a decade there. Well, I was fighting with other channels and Unilock for one. He's still a thing, by the way. I think I'm not gonna look for him. You go do that yourself. Let's continue this video.
I want to go back and talk a little bit more about this Operation Fishbowl footage. That ring shape really stands out to me. The explosion looks like an object hitting a solid surface, which is followed by
That's definitely what you would expect. On a wall. I'm not sure what this is trying to prove. Can someone tell me? Hold on. Let's see. Zoom in. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Please tell me. Okay, that's funny.
a shock wave that ripples outward.
Oh, I'm stupid. I like it that way, okay? That's a crazy. What the fuck? Can you explain what just happened there? I can't. Wait. Zoom it in again. Yes. You gotta tell me what happened now. I don't know what the fuck. What Yes. Yes, I'm here. Oh. Wait a minute. getting good at this. Thank you for coming in, moderator. You are now moderator, Julian. Whoa. And Dr. Purple, by the way.
Say, science doesn't work by saying this looks like that. But that is exactly how science works. Ever hear of something called taxonomy? In biology, the entire way animals are named and classified is entirely based on observations like, hey look, this animal looks like that one. Now, explosions are a bit different than water balloons.
Wait a minute.
So let's watch some explosions going off.
Okay, so here we can see the explosion moving across the floor, but it isn't producing a very clear ring effect. This is what detonating on impact looks like. Now, let's go see what it looks like when something detonates before impact. Here's a firecracker getting dropped into a fish tank that is going to explode before it touches the bottom. See that ring effect moving across the bottom? Looks pretty similar. Next, I want to point out how not all of the Operation Fishbowl explosions created an observable ring effect. As you can see, this explosion is just creating a big fireball, and then it just dissipates.
Okay, so why did only some of the explosions have it and others not?
Well, let's go take another look at that explosion taking place in the fish tank. It starts off as a spherical explosion, there's our fireball, and then the force of it goes down and then boom, there's our O-shape. And it turns out that the people who conducted the Operation Fishbowl tests claimed each bomb was detonated at a different height. So whether or not there was an O-shape really depended on how far away from the firmament each bomb was when they detonated. One thing I learned back when I was in the Army doing field artillery work was that not every round detonates on impact, but sometimes when they want to try and do more damage over a given area, they have a round explode before impact so that the explosion can reach a larger surface area. Notice how this one detonating on impact doesn't cover as much ground. And here's another one detonating before impact. It makes a big difference. But of course, the firmament is above us, so let's view this upside down.
That makes so much sense. I seriously can't think of any reason why that ring effect.
Oh my god. Oh. I will. Come on. Hold on. I'm actually. Let's see if I can get a link. No. Hold on. Okay. Have any proof yet of the firmament? Stand on.